This here is day 7 of the Golden Line's Hoity Toity tour to the northeast. We're going to talk about today our show in Plattsburgh last night at the ROTA, and about the preceding day and about what we're doing right now. We'll start out with that. We're on our way from our lovely campsite out by Montpelier to Burlington to play a show tonight at the Skinny Pancake. Vermont is green and pretty and has mountains everywhere, just as you can see, like so. Yesterday was a day filled with green mountains also through the Adirondacks, which are very remote. We spent most of the day driving through little mountain roads, dodging potholes and all that kind of stuff. It was really, really pretty and isolated, very isolated. When we finally got to Plattsburgh, we found ourselves in a little town. It's kind of a cool little town.
Yeah, it was pretty. We got some really, really kickin' sandwiches too at this awesome place called Delish, which is a very appropriate name for it.
Yeah, it was good. They had we had a grilled turkey sandwich that had like cranberries on it or something.
Yeah, it was like a cranberry chili sauce or something. Yeah. It was so good. And the other one was on jalapeno bread, which is always a favorite of mine.
Yeah, it was good stuff. And walked around the town a bit. When we jumped into ROTA, which is a gallery, an art gallery in the middle of this town, which is one of these towns that's, kind of got a dense downtown with older buildings and all that kind of stuff. It's pretty lively. There are a lot of people on the streets. There's some outdoor music going on and stuff like that. A bunch of restaurants going.
Yeah, a lot of cool little junk shops. Just like, they buy people's old stuff they don't want anymore and then sell it back to you. It's kind of awesome. And they had a really cool bookstore that was just like packed floor to ceiling. It had like all these nooks and crannies and just like, I don't know, it's just more books than I've ever seen in a space that size ever, I think. Yeah,
it was a lot. It was even more than the old book alcove.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they were like super creative with the ways they were stashing books everywhere.
So they had some weird stuff on sale too, like some old National Geographics and stuff like that.
Yeah. Apparently they do a free book box out front too if they just like don't have room for some of the stuff they're selling. So that place, A+. Awesome bookstore.
Yeah, that was good. Went down to the harbor, saw the sailboats and stuff.
Yeah, the lake's beautiful. Plattsburgh is right on Lake Champlain. We were on the west side of it last night in Plattsburgh, and tonight we're going to be on the east side of it in Burlington, Vermont. So that's kind of fun.
So the ROTA show was a little strange for us, truthfully. It was the space is great. It's a gallery, very, very open format. You can kind of do whatever you want there, and they'll book all sorts of different stuff. And
the people that run it are totally laid back. They're just like, start when you feel like it. Whenever people show up, you don't have to like hurry or anything. You can just play it by ear, and they're really relaxed and casual, which is really nice. To sort of puts you at ease.
Right. And when I emailed the place, we got stuff nailed down fast. They made flyers for us and all that, so it was pretty easy to work with.
Yeah, they put the whole night together. They booked 3 other acts, and they made posters, which they put up all around town. They were real cool.
Yeah. But the loose format was a little weird for us because we didn't know when to start putting stuff together. And I think there's a distinction that we always have to make. We were talking about this earlier about the idea of playing acoustic for us versus like playing electric and then playing completely unamplified. When we say that we're going to play acoustic at a place, what we usually mean is we're going to take our acoustic instruments and plug them into amplification and sing through a microphone, a PA. And the whole thing is got a mellower sound because you don't have distorted guitars and stuff like that. But it is still like an amplified situation.
Oh yeah, what we've learned on this trip is that when most people say acoustic, they mean just like totally unplugged.
It's up here though. I think it's different in different places.
That's probably true.
I don't know. Like when you go to Acoustic Coffee House in Johnson City.
Yeah, which is more like the electric beer joint. The place is awesome. We love it.
Just a little bit different. But anyway, so we came in and like we started dragging in gear. The one guy was talking to us was like, well, usually when we do stuff up here in the gallery, it's completely unamplified, and we put electric shows down in the basement.
But then like another act was like dragging in a huge Fender keyboard amp and stuff, and there was another guy with an electric bass he was bringing in, so we were like, we're going to go ahead and set up our stuff.
Yeah. But by the end, we ended up not using it. We ended up just playing unamplified
Yes,
altogether.
it's true, because the first act, they were using a little amplification, but they were like really quiet overall. And then the guy that went after them was just a solo guy with his guitar and a harmonica and stuff, and he didn't plug in at all, so we decided to sort of stick with the mood of the evening.
Right. But the evening kind of unfolded in a weird way. The first act has two girls and a guy with a keyboard, and he strummed on guitar a little bit. They did a bunch of songwriter stuff and some keyboard looped stuff that kind of was a little Portisheady kind of sort of trancey stuff, I guess. And I won't lie, I didn't like them. I thought they were awful.
Oh, really?
I don't want to ever slam anyone, but they're kind of, they're just
really new.
Yeah.
Like, they hadn't learned the lyrics to their songs or anything, so they were like reading off of like papers the whole time and just seemed kind of shy. And they set up behind a whole like a big pole, like a big pillar in the middle of the room. They kind of like set up behind it, which was a little strange. So I think they just haven't played out before. And I know it was their first time playing at ROTA, so it might be their first time playing out ever.
It's possible.
Truthfully.
It's possible. Yeah.
But whatever, man.
Yeah. When they ducked out, they took themselves and then a lot of their friends with them. They didn't really hang out for the other sets.
That was a little too bad, because like we kind of like sat up front and we were real attentive and stuff, and like they had a whole bunch of people hanging out for their set, but then they kind of like left as soon as they were done, which is always just a little too bad when bands do that.
And then the next guy that came up was so good, it was too bad they missed him.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Was Will
Scheifley? Schleffly?
Yeah.
I think it's Schleffly.
Yeah.
Or Schleifley.
We'll put a name up somewhere.
Yeah.
So people can know where he's at.
Yeah, he was real cool.
Yeah. He did these like kind of Shel Silverstein-ish like songs that had like a real innocent sort of nature to them, and kind of I don't know, they're weird and funny, crazy.
Yeah, just really good storytelling, and there was a bit of a childish element, but they weren't like kid songs.
No, they weren't like Octopus Garden or anything like that.
Yeah.
But he was really good. I really enjoyed him.
Yeah, and he was really creative just with his acoustic guitar playing. He was doing some really fun pop stuff. It wasn't just like strum and sing. Like, he was getting some really interesting chords and rhythms, and he had really great stage presence too. There was one point where he just like spun around in circles while he played and sang, and it was just really engaging. The guy was just such a good time to watch.
So we followed him up, making like a real instant decision to just play unamplified to the room. There weren't many people hanging out by the time.
Yeah, it cleared out a bunch.
Finished, so it was really like him, and then the two guys that were going to come after us, and then some of the people that were there at the venue to run the venue, and then just maybe one or two, maybe three other people.
Yeah, it was pretty small.
So we played, and we played straight through, played pretty hard. Just trying to like get all the sound out there that we possibly could, and got a little bit of a reaction. People seemed to like it.
Yeah, there were a couple people that dug it and came up afterwards and said good job, and that was nice. A couple people bought CDs. That's always a good thing.
That's always nice.
And there was a nice guy there that is a local blogger that actually has already done a little write-up of our show. That was very nice.
Yeah, he talks
we'll
about
link to it.
Percussion and stuff.
He likes my legs.
So, yeah, nice. I like your legs.
Yeah, and I told him, he asked what they were called, and I said the punctual drummer, and I think he liked that a lot, because he used that as the foundation for his review, which was nice. He thought my joke was funny.
And
Thanks,
then,
man.
After that were
The Roosters.
The Roosters. And they were like a blues duo, a guy on a resonator, National Steel resonator, and a guy on an upright plugged in. And, just doing straight Delta blues stuff. Just real, like, right down the middle of the road Delta blues stuff.
They're good, though. They're tight.
Yeah, they're tight. They're, they're good, really authentic, and some of the tunes were originals written in the style, which I thought was pretty good.
Yeah, definitely.
So, they were good. It was fun. And then that was really it. Like, the night, they kind of played, and people got up and danced for the last tune, which was nice for them.
That was great, yeah.
And then the night just kind of was poof, gone.
Yeah, and it was really nice. The guy that booked us, Matt, was going to put us up, but we kind of just wanted to like go outside and stuff because it's so beautiful up here, and just sort of have a like quiet evening.
Talk about the show.
Yeah.
It's weird for us. So.
It looked like a lot of people were going out to hang out and sort of hit a couple of the bars in town, so we opted out. Had a little trouble finding a place to stay, truthfully.
Yeah,
Plattsburgh,
You think like right in the middle of the, I almost cursed, right in the middle of the Adirondacks you would find a campsite, you know, every couple of feet, but not the case.
Well, what's a little weird is that we did find a campsite, and that was the one that we had looked at in the book before we knew that we didn't know that they were going to offer to put us up, so we had looked around at campsites and we found this one that looked like perfect, and it was really close and really cheap, and so we then went there, and they had instructions on the window of their little booth for how to check in after their office hours, which pretty much everywhere does. You know, they let you check in late and you just drop your money in the box or come by and pay in the morning or something. So they had all the instructions, but then this man in a cart comes up after a minute and is like, "What are you guys doing?"
Yeah, he turned us away like dirty gypsies.
Yeah, he told us that we couldn't stay, and when he was like, no, only if you have a reservation can you come in right now. And I was like, oh, but this sign right here next to me that I'm pointing at gives me instructions for how to come in without reservations right now. And he was like, well, if you want to sleep in your van, I guess you can stay in this parking lot right here, but you can't set up your tent. And I was like, well, crap, man, we got no room. See you later. Thanks anyway. So it was really weird because like he wasn't aggressive or anything. He just like
he clearly didn't want us there. I don't know what the deal was.
Yeah.
There's the flames on the van. It's scary.
Yeah, I guess so. Thought we were the wrong type or something. I don't know if you can see the flames on the hood of our van or not from here. Nope. Oh well.
So we left New York behind real fast, jumped on a ferry, which was beautiful. And
thank goodness the ferry was running all night. Oh, yeah. We had looked for hotels, too, and there's something going on in Plattsburgh this weekend, because they were all sold out, except for this, like, 1-star, America's Best Value Inn. Awesome. Just usually the sort of place we look for, because they're usually real cheap. We go in, they had one room left, and it was over $100.
Yeah, it was like $109.
For, like, this crappy little place, and we were like, what? So, yeah, we were like, screw you, New York, we're going to Vermont. And this ferry, this beautiful ferry, took us across Lake Champlain in the middle of the night, and there were all these stars shining above, the dark water was sort of rushing past, and it was really, really beautiful.
Yeah, that was nice. So we got out, went to a Motel 6 and passed out pretty hard.
Yeah.
And got up today and went and got our site, which is kind of nice. It took us a little hunting to find one in the right spot, you know.
We did it.
Yeah, we're staying put for the next couple of days. So next up is Skinny Pancake. We'll see how it goes tonight.
Yeah, we played in Burlington once before. We played at a place called Manhattan Pizza Pub, and that was a good one. I enjoyed that show. That was like one of our earliest out of town shows.
Yeah, it was a long time.
Yeah, but it had a nice walk-in crowd, and the people in Burlington seem to appreciate live music a lot. So I feel good about tonight. Looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, very much.
Oh, and before we wrap it up, thanks, Crabbers, for your awesome video.
Crabbers is the best.
Yeah, Crabbers, you are the best. That was such a slick uke song. Love it. You should... Yeah. Oh, awesome. Love it. And your animal noises, totally impressive.
And you can have a t-shirt whenever you want.
That's right. You can have as many t-shirts as you want. We'll even send you a new CD when we make them. Thanks a bunch.
Yep, that's it.
All right. Bye, everybody.